Well, we find Rogers here about to toss a coin as much as his pause will allow. A quick investigation here does reveal that that has come up, in fact, heads. So let's put on our positive heads here on what we take from that performance. Much better defensive display from Swindon. Arguably unlucky not to have the goal from Shimanga given for the push on Smith. Creating enough chances to win, but not being able to put those away on the day against a resolute Accrington, and a week's training that was very much focused on eliminating the kind of defensive mistakes and inattention from free kicks in certain situations that allowed Cheltenham to score their goals, implemented to leave a manager content with performance, if not scoreline. And that would be why he is saying that they looked more like the team that he wanted to see. Overall, 34 points from 19 games since that Colchester debacle, a football trauma, and I emphasise football trauma rather than sort of using it in a real world sense. That, to be honest, for me personally, and well, for Rogers personally, clearly, felt as bad as only really as playoff defeats in terms of the despair in exiting the ground at the time. So there is your head. So the tails, I think, are interesting because there was one kind of text afterwards that really sort of struck me from this game, which said, the manager's not acknowledging the shortcomings in the performance, and a different perspective is needed. And from an entertainment perspective, there was a finite amount of entertainment there. The result was frustrating. There were chances. Was there the sort of level of domination you'd want against an Accrington team that clearly came with defensive aspects in mind? No. Is the season ultimately going to peter out? It would almost bar, an impossibly miraculous set of circumstances. Yes. Even wins in all the remaining games are almost certainly not enough to hit the usual targets of playoff points. Are Swindon spending another season marooned in the basement division? Yes, and in the bottom half currently as well. So I can understand that. So I think it's equally understandable that those frustrations boil up. I suppose the difference is that as supporters, you're here for a long time and not always a good time in terms of management and players. You're here for a short time, and ultimately that's where their perspective comes from. And sometimes I don't think the twain will ever meet, and they will be two sides of the same coin. Yes, we got there in the end. Rogers will speak to you next time from the delightful town of Morecambe with the statue of one of Britain's greatest comedians. Until then, farewell.